Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Here I will show you about a video of learning mathematics. In this video, we'll use proportion material and using realistic mathematics education approach with discussion model. In the discussion model of learning, there are 3 steps. The first step is introduction, and second step is exploration, and the last step is closing. So, enjoy it. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, students. Today, we will study about proportion. Before we start our lesson today, let's pray together. Pray starts. Finish. Is there any students absent? Okay. We will start our lesson with recall your knowledge about ratio. Any students remember about ratio? What is a ratio? I will answer about the ratio. Maybe we can make a ratio by comparing two objects. A ratio, I think we can compare two objects with smaller than or higher than. For example, my age and Maria's age. For example, if my age is 15 and Maria's age is 20, so we can say in a ratio, my age have a ratio with Nadia is 2 over. So for example, my age now is 15 and Maria's age now 20. So we can say by a ratio 3 over 4. Okay, good Nadia, nice answer. So we can use a ratio by comparing two objects with smaller than, more than, larger than, and so on. Now I will recall your knowledge about Cartesian coordinate. If I have a point A with coordinate is -3, 2, so any students put this point in a Cartesian coordinate. Maybe you can show us in a Cartesian coordinates. -1, 1, 2, 3, 4, -1, -3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this x is this one. Maybe you can show us how to put this point in this Cartesian coordinate. I will try to answer your question, ma'am. Okay, friends, I will explain about the question of Ma'am Vicky. So, if a point A, I will put in this Cartesian coordinate. So, the place is 1, 2, -3, -1, -4, -1, -2, -3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is Y, this is X. So the place of point A is here 2. So the answer, the place of point A is here. Thank you. Thank you, Maria. Nice answer. So this one is A with coordinate -3,2. Give applause to Maria. And now I will show you about the advantage of learning proportion. Proportion. What is the advantage of learning proportion? Any students know about Google Maps? Yes, I think all of you know about Google Maps. If I want to go to Surabaya and I'm from Mojokerto, in GPS we have known about the time and the distance. The time and the distance. From the time and the distance we can make a ratio. So if the distance is more far than before or near than before, we can make a ratio of the time and the distance. And now I will give you a worksheet about proportion. The first material is I will explain about direct proportion. The goal of learning proportion of today is you can know about direct proportion. What is a direct proportion? And you will find the concept about direct proportion. And now we will start our material about proportion. Before we start our material, I will divide you by some group. One group will have 3 members or 4 members. For the first group is Eko, Zulia, and Ningtyas. For the second group is Tigas, Ilmus, and Zuhab. For the third group is Laila, Azifa, and Andi. For the fourth group is Maria, Nadia, and Anton. For the last group is Vicky, Firda, and Nuzula. So now you can gather with your group and make a discussion about the worksheet will I give to you. This is for the first group, second group, and the last group. Yes, you can look your worksheet. So the procedures is, the first procedures is write your identity first, and the second is read and understand the problem given. The third is answer each question clearly in the space provided. And fourth, if you found a difficulties, discuss with each member of your group, and you can ask to me if you find difficulties. And from the first problem, here we will give a problem illustration for this material. So on a Saturday night, Andy wants to go to the night markets in the square where he lives. The ticket's price for the night market is 3,000 rupiah, and for one game ticket, the price is 2,000 rupiah. But he only has 25,000 rupiah. Before leaving for the night market, Andy buy anu manis for the price 30,000. And the question is, how many games that can Andy ride on arrival at the night market? So you can answer the question by step. Yes. For the this is systematic. So You can answer from the number 1 until the last number. You can start now to discuss with your friends.
This one is the worksheet.
Ma'am, I will ask you about how the way to answer number 10. So maybe you can make a ratio of y over x1 and y2 over x2. For example, what is the you can use by this one. So if this one is y1 and this one is I change by this one is x1 and this one is y1, so we can compare it with this one, but this one is just use as a variable using y1 over x. Okay students, I think the time is enough, so I will ask you to come forward to explain about your discussion. For every group, maybe there is one delegation from your group to explain about your discussion. So maybe for the third group, you can come forward first. Uh, okay, here my name. Okay, here I will explain about the result of my group's discussion. From the illustration, we have understood it. So for the first question, my groups is for the total of ticket. this one is the total of ticket, we symbolize by X, and for the total cost we symbolize by Y. So, and the number we choose is 1. For 1 is equal to 5,000. Why 5,000? Because when Andy enter the night market, we must pay 3,000, and if he buy one ticket of games, so the answer is 3,000 plus 2,000, so it's equal to 5,000. And for the second is for 2 tickets. My group is answered by 7. So if the price of enter to night market is 3,000 plus 2 times 2,000 is equal to 4,000. So 3,000 plus 4,000, so it's equal to 7,000. And for the third, we choose 4. For 4 tickets, Andy will pay 11,000. And the next, okay, for the next is in the column we have 14. So the ticket that can Andy buy is equal to 5. Because if but the money that Andy have is have reminder 1,000. So if we pay 14,000, so we have 3,000 for enter the ticket and 10,000 for buy a ticket. And the next we have 8. This one is equal to 19. And for 10 we have 23,000. And for 11 we have 24,000.
One is the sketch of the third group answer. So, if the number of ticket is increased, the cost will increase also. And if the number of the ticket is decreased, the price also will decrease. So, from for number 10, xy1 over x1 is not equal to y2 over x2, because we find the ratio of this question for the first table 1 over 5,000, and for the second column is 1 over 3,500, and for the fourth column is equal to 1 over 2,750, and so on. Yes. So the y1 over x1 is not equal to y2 over x2, and x1 for b, x1 times y1 is not equal to x2 times y2.
Okay, from the third group discussion, maybe another group have another answer, you can come forward. Okay, please come forward for the first group. and explain your answer. But this one don't erase first. I will erase just this one. You can write down your answer here. Yes, please. So for the result of my group is for X is equal to the total of ticket that Andi bought, and this one is Y is the total cost that Andi paid. For 1 is equal to 2000, and for 2 is equal to 4000, and for 3 Andi will pay 6000, and for 14 Andi will have 7 tickets. So why my group the answer is different with the third group? Because we not calculate the cost that Andi entered the night market. So we just put the price of the ticket of Andi paid. Yes, that's one. And the other is also the same. So for the how much does Andi have after paying with our monies? The total is 22,000. So the ticket that can Andi buy of the remaining that he has is 25,000 minus 3,000 minus 3,000, because for enter the night market Andi will pay 3,000, and for our monies Andi will pay 3,000, so the remaining is 19,000. So for 19,000 Andi will have 9 tickets, but the money that Andi have more 1,000. So the remainder of Andi's money is 1,000. And for if a lot of ticket Andi bought more, what about the cost he incurred? So if the total of the ticket is increased, so the price also will increase. If the ticket that Andi have is decreased, so the cost also will decrease. So in your own words, why the relationship between the number of tickets and the cost incurred? So if the ticket that Andi buy increase, the cost will increase also, and if the ticket that Andi buy is decreased, so the cost also will decrease. So determine the ratio of the number of tickets in every column. So my groups with the ratio of this question is 1/2000. This one also 1/2000. This one also 1/2000. This one also 1/2000. Yes, that's all. And yes, now I will show you about the sketch of Cartesian diagram of this table. So if the point on the Cartesian diagram are connected, a graph will form. What is formed is the graph. So the graph of, if I will connected this point and this point, so we will have a straight line. And the relationship between y1 and x1 is equal to y1 over x1 is equal to y2 over x2, because if we have the same ratio for this, and for this, and also for x1 y1 is equal to x1 y2. So from the first question until 10th question, we have a conclusion if the problem. So the value of the ratio will same, and for y1 over x1 is equal to y2 over x2, and y1 times x1 times y1 is equal to x1 times y2. And if the value of x is increased, so the value of y will increase also. But if the value of x is decreased, so the value of y also will decrease. So that's one is direct proportion. Thank you for attention, my friend. Okay, nice answer for the third group and the first group. Now I will explain about a direct proportion, and I will give you a reinforcement about a direct proportion. So for the third group, they enter the price to enter to the night market, so they will plus the price of the ticket that Andy buy and the price to enter the night market. But for the first group, they ignore the price to enter to the night market. So they just put the result of price of the ticket. So for the one ticket, Andy have paid 2,000, and for two tickets, 4,000, and three tickets, 6,000, and so on. But if this from the third group, we have different ratio of each part. But if the first group, they have the same ratio. So which one is the right answer? So the answer is for the first group. Yes, the correct answer is for the first group. So we must ignore the price of enter to the night market. So we just put the price of the ticket that Andy bought. So the ratio is 1 over 2,000. And the direct proportion. What is the direct proportion? The direct proportion, I will erase this first. So yes, for the direct proportion is can be occur if the value of this variable is the ratio of each part is the same. So if we have a value of y1 and y2, this one will the same, have the ratio. So x1 and x2, so we have the same ratio. And if the value of y is increased, so the value of x will increase also. If the value of y is decreased, so the value of x is decreased also. So I will conclude about this material about a direct proportion. Yes, for the direct proportion, the graph of the direct proportion is the form is straight line. So if the value of y is increased, so the value of x will increase also. And the direct proportion is have the same ratio. So if y1 over x1 is equal to y2 over x2, and for the x1 times y1 is equal to x2 times y2. That's any question from my students? Okay, if no question, I will close this meeting, but don't forget to do your exercise in the book, page 22 till 23. And also don't forget to learn about the next meeting about indirect proportion. So, I think enough. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yes.